I have here a brake pad. Well, in fact, I have a small collection of these things. Brand new, freshly cast in a specialized workshop that I don't even know which one, but that's not important. My job for today is a little bit an easy one, I think. All I have to do is to bore out this center hole and drill 2 holes here and here, just like in this one. I suppose that in the meanwhile you already figured out that these are, of course, tram parts, and this one is an original part, I think. And as you can see, we had to make new because this one, and it's the only one, the wear is a little bit special here. The other brake parts are in perfect condition. And because this one we don't have in stock anymore, we had to make them, to ask a workshop to make them for us. So now we have a whole bunch of brand new of these. And because in castings like this one, it's always very complicated to have the right size of bore, and even more complicated to make small holes. It's a little job for me to do here. And I think it will be not too complicated because this cast iron is of course not really hard. If it's too hard, it will wear the wheels, and not these blocks of course. Now this side here is a little bit rounded and there's an imprint here. So I think I'm gonna use this side, it's nice and flat, to put it on the milling machine. But first I will clean it up a little bit with sandpaper. Right, let's see if we can install this thing on here. Oh, it's wobbly. That's not good. Right, let's try again. I just found 2 little pieces of whatever here. I think if I put one here and another one on the other side. Better, but not perfect. I think this will work. I'm using my cute little dividers here to try to find a good spot to drill a hole. Because nothing is straight, nothing is round. I have to figure out more or less a right position to drill the hole here. That doesn't work. Now the position of these 2 holes I try to figure out here are of course absolutely not important. It is just to hold a spring in place, that's all. But I would like them to look good, that's all. What I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna install the drill chuck and then find something cylindric. The holes need to be 11 millimeter, I see on my blackboard. So maybe find some kind of shaft more or less at 11, 12, 10 and then visually center it. Let's do. I think this looks more or less alright. Between 7 and 8 somewhere. Same here and here. Almost 8. Right, let's go for it. Ja, goed. All right, let's do the other one. Two small holes are drilled without any problems at all. And I think to center the big hole here, I think I'm gonna use exactly the same method. I mean, using my little pin here, very handy. Now, this hole isn't center. It's not far off, but it isn't center. And I check on my blackboard, it needs to be 25.6, and here I have 24. No, 24. So I have 1.6 millimeter to play with, to center it. That will work. It's maybe a little bit hard to see on camera, but when I measure here and here, it is more or less center. And I take the same distance in this direction and I see that it's not centered at all. But there's not enough meat left. If I cut in here, I will not cut in here. Which means I have to cheat, center it in the hole and not in this rim here. Center. I think the time has come to install the boring head. I just touched off and dial in a little bit, and I will see what happens, because inside here it is a very sandy surface. So I don't think my cutting tool will be very happy, but we'll see. I didn't give my tool enough stick out. That's stupid. Oh, that's too much stick out. What's happening here? All right. I just gave it 2 passes and the inner surface is completely cleaned up. So that's good. Right. And now here we have (25.2) 4/10 more. Check. .6. That's good. (25.6) spot on. I think it's always great when a plan is going to plan. And I think now it's time to go to the tram depot and give this thing a test fit in its real life situation. And this is the patient I have to work on. And of course, in the darkest spot of the depot. But we'll see what we can do. I had to stop filming on location because when I was working on this thing, another person entered and we started working together on another project. And I brought the old rig back home here because I thought there are two major problems with it. Let me show you a little bit closer. When I tried to fit the brake shoe in this part, I thought it didn't fit, because here, indeed, it doesn't fit. But from the angle where I was sitting and looking at it, I couldn't see that, in fact, in here, there's a pocket. And of course, in the pocket, it does fit. So no problem this side. And here, normally there comes a little pin, and here the spring. So this problem fixed itself. That's very nice. Second problem, this is the pin that goes through to hold it all together. And here there's a lot of play, but it is what it is. And here, as we can see, the hole is way too big. Oh, the pin is too small. And if I take another brake shoe that hasn't been worked yet, this is how they come from the foundry. Same problem, but I think it will be an easy fix. I have here a very nice little piece of 30mm cold rolled steel. If I make a bushing that fits in here, and then of course drill it out and make this pin fit inside, I think it will work. Change of tools. This one doesn't give a nice finish. That's a tight fit. But I think it will work. A brand new little bushing. And as you can see, it fits. This one is now finally finished and ready to be installed. But I'm not gonna do it yet because I have to repeat 3 more times exactly the same process. So let's go for it. I have here a brake pad.